Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cambria, and I definitely want to just do a video, as the title states, on the pros and cons of Arizona. I've moved here with my family close to 9 years ago, so I've been here for a while. So if this is something you want to listen to, then stay tuned. It's always good to do the good first, right? So what are my pros for coming to Arizona? First of all, the weather. It's just magnificently beautiful here. I live in Maricopa County, so that's more in the valley, and it's summer here. So during the summer months, it's hot. It gets over 100 degrees, but this is why we have air conditioning and central air. So you're really moving from central air house to an air conditioned car, to an air conditioned office or building, back to an air conditioned car, back to a central air home. So you really don't feel the effects of it unless you're really outside, which it's not really smart to do that. But during the fall and the winter months, it's beautiful. And we're talking about at night, the temperature, the lowest it'll go is probably in the 50s, late 40s, but then it'll go back up into the 60s and 70s. So you're not gonna get, there's no, winter here. We don't get snow. We hardly ever get rain. So I think this just, and that was one of my reasons for moving here, just on the weather alone. So that's definitely a plus. Also, another pro here, you definitely get more bang for your buck. And what I mean is, I'm originally from the East Coast. And if anyone that knows the East Coast, and I'm talking about New Jersey and New York, the cost of living is astronomical, and your wages do not reflect the exorbitant high amount of the cost of living. So that's the issue. And so you don't see your money. 90% of your money is going towards living expenses, and that's absolutely absurd. So again, another reason to move at the time, it was just the cost of living here was so much affordable. Now, granted, more people are migrating here from other cities. So yes, the prices are going up astronomically, but my advice is the further north you go, because there's even northern parts of Maricopa County and even further up north, where the north you go, the cheaper and more affordable it gets, and you still get same square footage or even more. You get more land, and you actually can see the worth of what you paid for. So definitely, and the homes are beautiful here. If they're not new builds, they've been here for a while. They can withstand the weather, so you're not having an issue with that. And you get the space. Like the amount that you pay on the East Coast for just like a studio apartment, you're paying for like a 5-bedroom home here. So that's the big difference. So cost of living's definitely up my speed, up my alley. So that's one thing. Another great thing of Arizona that I'm starting to see, and this was pre-pandemic, there's always something to do. Always something to do. There's always a festival, some type of outing, gathering. Even the amount of concerts started coming here because Phoenix now has become one of the bigger players when it comes to musical acts coming out here and playing. I mean, there's always something to do. For the younger crowd, and I'm talking about 20s, early 20s, there's plenty of clubs here. For the older crowd, there's just so much to do. We have cruises, we have lakes here, there's museums for the children, there's museums for the older people. Definitely, we have theaters everywhere. So if you're into Broadway shows when they travel, they do stop here in Arizona. And it's just beautiful. So I think you're never gonna get bored in this state for sure. So I just think compared to other cities I've traveled to, this is one of the cities and states that always keeps it lively for everyone. So that's a plus for sure. Another huge thing I love about Arizona, the landscape here is beautiful. Again, I'm from a big metropolitan city, so I'm sick of seeing skyscrapers and all bunched up together and tall buildings and just pounds of steel everywhere. I actually want to see nature and just the mountain views here, the desert landscape, and literally you can just drive up to the Grand Canyon, one of the seven wonders of the world, and it's massive. I think everyone once in their lifetime should take a visit to the Grand Canyon. I think it's amazing how they upkeep it, and just I can't even describe how big it is, like the massiveness of it. So I highly recommend the Grand Canyon. There's even Sedona, which has red rocks, actual rocks and mountains that are red. There's plenty of waterfalls here. There's plenty of things to do. So again, just the landscape, and it's just beautiful. The sunsets here and the sunrises, absolutely breathtaking. So if you're into nature like that, and again, I'm not a huge nature person, like I'm not out there, I don't have a green thumb, and I'm not much of a hiker, but there's people that love to hike, there's people that love to do things outside. Arizona is for you. So I would definitely put kudos to that for sure. So okay, so then we're gonna go into some of the cons that I feel must be discussed for sure. So again, depending on where you are gonna come in Arizona, a lot of the bigger cities are becoming more and more expensive due to migration. So I would say my advice is to definitely do your research. And I think, again, the further north you go, you can get more bang for your buck. That will affect your commuting time to work, possibly if you work, have to go to work in person. So it's just definitely weigh your options. Another con to me is the public school system. So for those who have young children, when looking at the current rankings, unfortunately, Arizona does not have a great scorecard when it comes to public education compared to other schools in other states that actually do Regents programs and AP programs. So I do have young children. I have a young child. We've made the decision to do private school for him, but unfortunately, that is something Arizona needs to work on heavily. So that's the only thing I can say on that. Another con for some will be the heat. 100+ degrees will happen between the months of April all the way to October. So, for some people that's just too hot and too long of a time period. So you definitely have to make sure that's something that you're comfortable. And again, you're not living in that temperature, but when you go outside, you feel it. And, so it's just interesting that that some people, that's a non-starter for them. So that's that. Back to one of the pros that I wanted to mention was how close Arizona, due to its geography, is to other things. So if you just wanted to get away for a weekend or something like that, again, you can go up north, where, Flagstaff, Sedona, the temperatures are a little cooler up there, especially in the wintertime. You actually get snow up there. So you have that. We have Las Vegas, that's like 4 hours away if you're gonna drive. I don't drive, I just take a plane, but you have Las Vegas right next door. South is Mexico, if you're into driving that way. San Diego, I believe, is 6 hours west. So that's a big tourist spot for those who want to see the beach, because we don't have beaches. That's another con, we don't have beaches. We're right set in the middle of, we're not next to a coastal shoreline. So if you're looking for beaches, you're gonna have to travel to one. So that's another thing. Oh, another con, but again, this is because of the environment we live in, and it's in the desert, and this may freak some people out, but we have different types of insects here. Where some places they're used to flies, roaches, things of that nature. We have scorpions, snakes, we have desert wildlife here. So again, depending on where you live and how metropolitan it is, you're not going to see it as much, but definitely know that scorpions exist. They love to be in houses. So that's just something you either have to, really get used to, or just not for you. So for those who are like grossed out by insects and slithering things, just especially if you're hiking, you will see a snake. I'm gonna be honest. So it's just knowing to look down when you walk. Make sure, because some snakes camouflage against the desert landscape, so just pay attention where you're walking. And again, they exist. This is their territory, so I'm gonna be honest there. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. I'm sure there's plenty others, but I would love to hear your thoughts, and especially if you already live in Arizona, what are your cons? What are your pros on living in this state? I think aesthetically, it's a beautiful state. I don't see myself or my family moving anytime soon, and we do enjoy it here. There's just always something to do. There's always some activity that's going on, and like I said, we make the most of our life here. So, and I love the heat, so the heat doesn't bother me at all. So, but that's it for my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Cambria, and if you're not a part of my family, what are you doing? We're a good group here. Hit that subscribe button, and right beside the subscribe button is the bell to notify you of anything new that I may decide to bring your way. So I hope you all stay safe, and I will talk to you all on my next video. Bye.